What's going on, guys? Phantasm Mask here, and if you remember about February of last year, I did a review on the original Vita. Well, today I'm happy to announce that I have acquired a Vita-2000, and I have plenty of things to say about this, but before we get into some close-ups on this particular model, I just want to go over some general things about it. This is the Borderlands 2 bundle that came out, I think it was earlier last week at the time that I'm recording this video, and so far, after maybe about 10 hours of use, I feel like I can probably give an accurate assessment of the Vita-2000. Before we go into any close-ups about the screen and things like that, I just want to point out that this Vita is significantly lighter, slightly smaller, and I think has better grips on the back. Just some general features that really, I think, benefited the next generation of the Vita. The original one, I think, was constructed very well. It had a nice weight to it, but it wasn't too distracting like some other handhelds I've had in the past. The screen on the original, that LED screen, was gorgeous. It's a great machine, but my only problem with it at the time was that there really weren't very many games that came out that interested me, so I eventually sold it. But now that I've acquired a Vita-2000 and I'm diving back into the Vita library and discovering all of these things that have come out since I've owned a Vita, it's becoming quickly one of my favorite handhelds I've ever had. So, as far as the technical specs of the bundle go, you get an 8GB card, a copy of Borderlands 2, which unfortunately was a digital download. I don't like big games like Borderlands 2 coming as a digital download. I think it said that it was a 4.5GB download, which takes up over half of the memory that they provided to you for this Vita. I think that they really should have stuck to giving you a physical copy of the game instead of a voucher. But some people out there, they have the 64GB cards or the 32s, and they have no problem shelling out that much memory in their Vita. Now, one thing that I think everybody is going nuts about is, as I said before, the screen on the original model, that LED screen, was awesome. It has one of the best screens I've ever seen on a handheld. It had very good, it displayed colors very well, and it was just an awesome screen. And I know when Sony announced that they're going to be ditching that LED screen in favor of an LCD screen, I was kind of iffy as to whether or not it would have the same quality as the LED screen. And while it feels like it's not as bright, this LCD screen is still nothing to just toss away. This screen is still awesome, but they ditched the LED in favor of having a longer battery life. And in my opinion, having a longer battery life would be more important than getting just a few more colors and maybe just a little bit more brightness out of a screen. I understand why Sony went with this choice, and I know it may set people off from buying a Vita-2000, but then again, the Vita-1000 is still out there. You could probably pick one up for maybe $150 on the cheap. So it's still there if you guys really want it, but I don't know how well my camera is going to pick this up. But let me just turn this on here. I probably should have done that in the first place. A few differences is the game slot is right here now. It's right here. There used to be some kind of weird input connection over to the side. Nobody really knew what that was for. The power button's here. You got a nice little light here that displays your battery indicator or whether or not it's charging. Same thing with your volume buttons. And on the bottom here, instead of it having the proprietary charger of the last generation, it now uses a micro USB slot like most cell phones do nowadays. And the PlayStation 4 controller charger, you have your headphone jack, and here you have the slightly dusty screen. We'll go ahead and get that off. The sticks. And as far as the buttons go, the start and select buttons, if you notice, have been rounded off a little bit more. And same thing with the PlayStation button. And it feels a little snappy. I don't know if you can pick that up on the microphone. Now, I just took a screenshot of my wallpaper. But let's go ahead and Let me give you an example. This is how bright the screen is, and I know this is a very bright room, and there's a bit of a reflection out of my window, but this screen is still very bright and still a very high quality screen. In fact, to the layman, I believe that they wouldn't be able to tell much of a difference between the LED and LCD screen. I think that the Vita-2000 is awesome. I like how much lighter it is. It's slightly smaller, but I would say that it's not necessarily small enough for pocket-sized travel yet. I don't think the Vita-2000 or the Vita itself is ever going to get that small, but it's nice to have something that weighs a little bit less when I'm carrying stuff around. But then again, some of my pants, I have big enough pockets to put the entire Vita inside. This is a welcome upgrade to the PlayStation Vita. My only real gripes about it is that I would have loved to have seen an upgrade to the cameras. These cameras are still horrible compared to what you can find in most common cell phones today. Like, for example, my phone here has a 13 megapixel camera in it. This, I think, it says that it's able to shoot at 1080p, 60 frames, but I think it's maybe a 4 megapixel camera. It's ridiculous how low quality the cameras are in the PlayStation Vita. That's something that I would like to see upgraded in the future. But as for the software, nothing's really changed. I haven't noticed any significant drops in load time or anything like that. It's basically like having the same hardware as the Vita-2000 and putting it in a smaller, lightweight package, which helps with the fact that you're dealing with a portable, handheld video game system. Overall, I would have to give the PlayStation Vita a 9 out of 10. It's really good. I like all the changes that Sony's done to this, and it's a very welcome addition to Sony's handheld lineup. I look forward to seeing maybe what they do with the Vita-3000. And please, Sony, can we get some more colors besides white and black over here in the United States? You know, I'd really like to have a red or blue one. Hell, I would love to even have a white one, and you can't even really find those over here. I'm tired of sticking with black. So with that, 9 out of 10 for me. Phantasm Mask here, signing out.